Hi guys, Spicy Meatballs Mega Ways launches next Wednesday the 14th of July and I'm going to be live streaming it. I wanted to give you guys a little sneaky preview of it. Let's go. So just before we start, just to give you a little bit of background, I can remember being asked to launch Cyber Slot at the end of last year for Nick and Big Time Gaming, and it was during the launch stream actually that Nick came to me and said, oh, we're thinking, we're going to be making a Spicy Meatballs slot. And Spicy Meatballs is one of my catchphrases. Everyone will know that you've been on my live stream. Always, if I get a really huge win, sometimes I will exclaim, Spicy Meatballs. I thought he was taking the mick, but no, he was actually being serious, and he called my bluff on it. Next thing, he was actually showing me early mock-ups of the design. I can remember seeing this layout without some of the finery, without some of the last graphics being put on it. But he was then getting really excited talking to me about the kind of special features, because all Big Time Gamings, they don't do reskins and stuff, they want to do new stuff, and this game has something that we've not seen before. We'll get to that in a bit. Then, obviously, a little bit later, the real fun started when he wanted me to provide the vocals. You will hear lots of, if you're not a fan of Hideous slots, if you're not a fan of me and my voice, you are going to hate this, because all sorts of Hideous-themed soundbites are littered throughout the game. Me saying everything from Ciao Bella to Wing Lonely. I can't even re-say them now. Yeah, loads of weird little soundbites. And I think that they've done it in such a great way, and the music as well. It's amazing. They've done a really great job. The graphics, the sound, it really is quite a cool game. But let's just, before we dive into it, let's have a quick look through things like the win table, just to give you a proper background on it. So here you can see with the premium symbols, the wins are ranging from anything for 10 times your stake for 6 of a kind on the top symbol, which is this suggestive purple aubergine, right down to a 1x stake for the little bit more standard green pepper. And then moving on to the royal symbols, obviously they're less, they're a little bit more nominal, anything from 0.9x stake for 6 of a kind aces down to 0.7 for the 9s. Okay, so no surprises here with the reactions and with the wild symbol. It's standard Megaways fare, cascading as normal. A win will explode and then be replaced by symbols dropping in from the top. And we do have this wild hat, which I think is animated really smartly. I like how they've done that, and that can feature as well as a standard wild. But the special sauce, if you want to call it that, is the wild meatball. You can actually hear it you can actually just hear it exploding in the background. There are 4 pots on top of reels 2 to 5, and the wild meatball is a wild, but it's a wild with a multiplier, and it's gonna fire. It can fire onto any of those reels, and then it can take part in a reaction, and then it's gonna just increase as it then moves down the reel, taking further part in more reactions, hopefully, as it comes down. And if you can get 5 or more reactions in the base game, you're going to get 8 free spins. If you can get a further reaction, and any more reactions that you could get will then become a 6th, a 7th free spin. You can get some nice free spin trigger starts. And here, in the actual feature game, once we get the meatballs in the feature game, those multipliers are going to stick throughout all of the free spins. So that is when you will get, and it's sort of teased here with the times 14 in the cooking pot, you get that. You just got one particularly overactive meatball might be a good spot in the free spins feature. If you can get that same meatball keep coming out, keep taking part in reactions, then maybe the 3rd or 4th time it comes out, it's starting at something really, really big and juicy. Maybe even as you start the feature, one of those is going to be higher as well, because obviously it will have taken, usually a meatball will have been involved in the trigger of the feature. Okay, and I was just looking through for the RTP here, and I can see that it has an RTP of 96.57. I hope that that's finalised and it's not going to change, but yeah, that's an important part of the recipe as well. Okay, so actually as we get into the game and we can see it start to play out, I'm reminded of actually sitting at this very computer and screaming faux Italian sayings into this microphone sending them over to Nick, who's on the other side of the world in Australia, and him getting back to me and going, yeah, I think you need a little bit more, go a little bit more over the top with it, and then me just coming up with loads more weird things, sending them off, and now those things are in the game. Like I say, they're not in so much that they're going to really annoy everyone. I mean, I suppose they might, you know, I can be annoying, but yeah, they're in there. They're in there to listen out for, especially during the feature. Let's come back when we naturally land a feature and see how it pans out. Did you just hear it? When the meatball launched out, we've now got 2 more meatballs, double meatballs. I'm just... Did you hear me in the background there? Ooh. That was me in the background saying, oh. Yeah, important thing to note there, when the meatball drops onto the reel, it actually increases the mega ways on that, it increases the ways on that reel by 1. There's 4 there, now there's 5 there on reel 4. Just something to note, so it's actually increasing the mega ways. Ooh, that's a big amount of purples. Very nice. I think most of these ideas, like the meatballs, I think you're going to have a better understanding once you actually see the meatball coming out every time in the feature. I think that's when it really comes into its own. So let's come back when we actually trigger the feature and we'll see what that's like. Oh my god, that could just trigger. That has actually just triggered. That has actually just triggered without a meatball. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna start the feature. Starting the feature this way, none of the meatball pops at the top are going to be anything over a ×1. So this is kind of like the lowest start you could possibly get. But in a way, that's good. You're going to get 1 meatball every spin. And then it's going to disappear. And then you're going to get another meatball this spin. Hitting 10s that time. And now that should drop down if it connects again. Jacks, okay. No connection there, so that one's going to go. But that one's now going to stay at ×3 when that goes back to the top. Not going to be connected anything there. This is good. Good to get that second reel multiplier up a little bit. Especially if you can get 2 meatballs working together. That's guaranteed to hit those peppers and the 10s and the blues and the reds. You like my balls? It's great. Like, one of the things I love about it is it's just taking one component of the standard Mega Waves dynamic, done away with the sort of train track at the top that you'll remember from Bonanza, and instead we have this wonderful... Each reel has its own multiplying wall that can trigger, and we know that in some cases, oh, that could be reds. In some cases, you're going to get a big combination of those meatballs, and it's going to combine for some huge wins. Not so much there, only 17.5x. That's not a great win, but yeah, it definitely has massive potential, and we will see it in the live play. Guys. Nice. Lucky your balls. 2 more hits. 1 more hit. That's in. That's 8 free spins. 9 free spins. That's an 81 hit off the reds. Don't demo money, I'm not going to scream and shout, but that is a nice hit. That's a nice way to start, and it's nice the way that the meatball came in on the cascade of the Max Mega Waves. I was kind of thinking to myself, how is it going to do that? But what it has to do, obviously, is hit the cascade, drops, creates a space. That's where your meatball goes. Look at that. That's not bad for a trigger 137x. And now in with 9 free spins. Watching out, especially for reel 3 here. and that's, first off, it's not going to hit. But if we can hit with reel 3 a few more times, that'd be... It's come out again. Really build up some impressive wins. Obviously, a main part about what made that trigger so good was that meatball combined on that last spin with all those reds. But I think it goes to show, even with just one meatball in the mix, to make things pretty special. And if you had 2 in there, I mean, things are only going to get big. I mean, it's game is loaded with potential. I was going to say, is that going to hit? But like, that isn't going to hit on the meatball. It is still a win. 3 more spins to go. Okay, now moving in on reel 1. We could hit again. There's a... No, not great weight. Not only 2 mega weight. Only 2 ways on reel 1 there. Kind of block things. So, I think we're going to be relying on the last spin. No, nothing on that one. It's still a great spin. Go Bella. But really, what it comes down to is how it plays next week when it gets released. Obviously, you can see from that some of what's going on with it. I think it's got a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to launching it. I hope you're all going to be here next Wednesday, the 14th of July. I'll be going live at 11 AM. Try and catch me then. Until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.